5 minutes. One minute.
Go ahead and call the meeting to order. You'd rise, please, to the Pledge of Allegiance. We sure appreciate it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Morielli,
Here.
Alderperson Denham,
Here.
Commissioner Kendrick,
Present.
Commissioner Hillis,
Here.
Chairperson Groman,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Dieger,
Here.
Commissioner Ong, Commissioner Seitz, I apologize,
All good. Here.
Commissioner O'Day, Commissioner Frederickson. We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. I'd like to make an announcement before we get started. At the request of the applicant, I would note that the public hearing regarding a request for a preliminary plat for Longstone 2, Branson, Missouri, will be continued to the next Planning Commission meeting on October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. So it can first be heard by the Park Board on September 16th at 5:15 p.m. The item will then be heard for its first read and public hearing with the Board of Aldermen on October 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m. or as soon as it may be called. As an amendment to the posted agenda, items 3 and 4 will still be discussed this evening. However, should the applicant decide to move forward with public hearings, we will, as a courtesy to the other applicants, first hear items 5 through 7 before returning to items 3 and 4. And if you're confused, you ought to be me. So we're just going to kind of work through this together here tonight. This is the time of our meeting where members of the public can come up and speak. If you'd like to come up and speak, please. Has anybody signed up?
We didn't have anybody sign up.
Okay. First item on our regular agenda is the approval of the Planning Commission minutes for July 1, 2025. Has the commission had a chance to review the minutes? Are there any comments? They've asked when you make or second a motion that you raise your hand so they can. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the July 1st, 2025 regular minute meetings.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
Commissioner Morielli,
Yes.
Alderperson Denham,
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis,
Yes.
Chairperson Groman,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz.
Yes.
The result of the vote is 7 yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
Our next item of public hearing is a request for preliminary plat for Elevate Branson, Missouri. Before I request a motion to bring this item to the floor and open the public hearing, I understand staff has requested this item be postponed to October 7th, 2025. Would staff like to elaborate?
Good evening, Commission. Yes, staff is requesting this be continued. There's a number of items that were lacking, revised plans. This also needs to go to the Park Board on September 16th for consideration of open space. And there's a few other things we could note, but I'm not going to get into too much detail. But we do request a continuance, please.
Would the applicant like to comment? Do you want to postpone it, or do you agree to postpone it till October 7th?
Yes, this is Todd Chandler with Great River, representing the applicant, Brian Stallings with Elevate Branson. We got an email on Friday about some outstanding comments on the preliminary plat and the plan development. The plan development actually had some comments a while back. We are trying to get clarification on the zoning because the property is currently zoned as high-density residential. And then the rest of the property, there's actually, four parcels? I think it's 4 parcels total, 3 of which are zoned community commercial for future development or existing buildings that are already there. And the tiny home property is zoned as HDR. Per an email that we have that dates back to 2022, what Brian is proposing to do with the tiny homes as well as the commercial buildings, that was approved for that zoning. So we're kind of under the impression that we're going to move forward with HDR in lieu of a planned development after receiving a tremendous amount of comments on the planned development. You know, we're trying to get it to work within the zoning categories that already exist. So that's kind of what's the holdup currently, as we get kind of clarification from the planning department on whether we can proceed with the HDR.
So are you in agreement to postpone it till October?
Yes, yep. Without any other options, I don't think we're going to get the answer this evening on the HDR designation, being able to move forward with that. We still do have to plat the property, because apparently the property was never platted. It's one of the few properties, I guess, in Branson that was never platted. So that's part of the process that we're having to undergo as well. So, yep, thank you.
Well, thank you. Can I get a motion to postpone this public hearing to Tuesday, October 7th at 6 p.m.?
So move.
Second.
Call for a vote?
Okay, a call for a vote to postpone the public hearing for a preliminary plat for Elevate Branson to October 7th at 6 p.m. Commissioner Morielli?
Yes.
Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis?
Yes.
Chairperson Groman?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz?
Yes.
The result of the vote is 7 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
Next item for the public hearing is a request for a preliminary plan development for Elevate Branson. Before I request a motion to bring this item to the floor and open the public hearing, I understand staff has requested this item be postponed to October 7th, 2025. Would staff like to elaborate?
Yeah, it's the same situation as Mr. Chandler mentioned. There was a tremendous amount of comments that we had for the plan development, and we have not received revised plans to date. So we do request that continuance to October 7th.
I've got a question for staff on this, and I guess it's maybe for Elevate as well. Do we think that this is going to be solved by October 7th? Because it seems like this has been continued and continued and continued. We want to see, I mean, it's at least my personal viewpoint that I want to see this development move forward. And I think that continuing in perpetuity doesn't serve the community or the developers or the city. So it's my hope that we can get these questions answered. They got an email on Friday before a meeting on Tuesday with more comments, which doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me because that's not lead time for anybody to be able to answer over a holiday weekend. I don't know the background, so I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But it would be my hope that on October 7th, we don't get asked for another continuance, which then butts into the holiday season in November and December, which could then lead to more continuances down the road. So do we think that we will be able to get this solved by that time?
I really can't answer that, but I know there's been a kind of a change in direction from the applicants where they're not wanting to pursue the PD, the plan development. So that could make it easier because it was pretty hefty load to lift for that one. I think they've also changed direction on the platting where they're not doing the entire, I can't remember how many acres it is, 17 acres or something, to maybe narrow it down to the 5. We still have, like Mr. Chandler mentioned about that determination on the HDR and whether or not they can do what it is they're wanting to do in that zoning district, which is going to take some internal discussion with staff.
I appreciate it, thanks.
Thanks, Jennifer. Would the applicant like to continue this item? Move forward with the public hearing.
Todd Chandler, again with Great River Engineering. Just to elaborate on what Jennifer said, if the plan development was to go forward, that's the reason why we were going to plat this as one big property instead of multiple properties like it's currently platted. But in discussions since then, we've been trying to get clarification on, if we're not meeting HDR requirements for the 5-acre property. You know, what is that requirement we're not meeting? And then what can we do on the applicant side in order to meet that requirement? Because it is a lot easier path for Brian to get the project moving. And that's what he's been under the impression he was going to do since 2022, when that email was actually sent by a staff person at Branson, and it was after they ran it through the city's legal department at that time. So that's kind of the approach we're taking, meeting the requirements of HDR. As soon as we get confirmation from city staff that that's a path we can take.
That look pretty good for October 7th then?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep, we would just have to revise our preliminary plat to show basically just platting that 5-acre parcel. And that can be done in a matter of, by the deadline, which I think is Friday. September 5th? Yeah, September 5th, based on correspondence. So as long as I get that answer, I can get that plat taken care of and get it submitted to the city. And they should have, minimal comments on it because it's a very simple platting process, because we're not even talking about combining all 4 properties into one. It's just platting the existing boundaries. So, yep. I think Brian might have something to, do you want to add anything, Brian? Or? So I'll let Brian speak as well. But yes, we are in agreement to suspend the hearing today.
Thank you.
Brian Stallings with Elevate Branson. Just to address Commissioner Seitz's question, yeah, we would hope that we could get all this done in October. Unfortunately, we've waited about 3 weeks now on whether the existing HDR zoning, if we've met all those criteria, and we can't get an answer. We originally agreed to rezone this to a PD based on just trying to accommodate and expedite this development of the commercial buildings, when we never really needed to do that, but to be accommodating to city staff and city administration, we agreed to do that. But now, with the multitude of comments that came back on the PD, we felt like it's best just to continue forward on the HDR, which is, again, already zoned HDR. We feel like we meet all those criterias, but we can't get a response back. So at this point, to answer your question, I don't know. We hope so. We want to continue it, and we want to get it done.
Well, we'll postpone it. We'll hope it works out in October. I will give you my personal word. I will be doing some checking on it.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairperson?
Yes?
I have one question, staff, please. I just want to, I don't know, because I haven't asked about the meetings that have taken place to date. Are there meetings or like not an open for business, but just continual meetings so that everybody's on the same page as far as what's required for moving forward?
There's been several meetings. This is something that's been in the works for, 5 or 6 years. Started back when it was a different administration, different planning staff. COVID came, then new staff, new attorneys, then different attorneys. And not quite sure how much I'm supposed to go into the weeds of it, but it's been challenging, and we've got to figure it out, and apologize for any delays that we've caused. But I think there was a couple of years where it kind of went silent. Maybe they had to do an environmental study, and they had to maybe do a tribal study or something. I'm not quite sure what all it was. So it's been a lot for a while.
Thank you. Mr. T, did you have something you wanted to offer?
Yes, ma'am. Norm Teed, Building Services. Director Ross asked me if I could just provide a little more clarity for the board. We have been requesting submissions from Elevate for months and months. February, we had an open for business meeting, requested submittals, requested plans, received no response. In early May, after reaching out several times, it came to the attention of my staff that construction had started without permits. We issued 4 stop work orders for the tiny homes at that point. I met with Mr. Stallings on site, gave clear direction not to proceed with any additional. Approximately 2 weeks ago, we identified 3 more structures that had been formed with rebar placed for foundation work. We issued 3 more stop work orders. We have met with Elevate in May, twice in August, continue to have discussion. It was not until Friday verbally that I was informed that they did not intend to proceed with the PD. At our last meeting where we pulled in all staff, several different departments, we provided some clear direction on the PD. The PD that was submitted did not address the basic requirements for a PD, which is why there was such an extensive list of comments. At that point, as the meeting concluded, it was our understanding that they would be moving forward with the PD submission. There was no indication of any withdrawal of the application. And again, as I said, it was only Friday afternoon during a discussion trying to work through the building permit process, which I have about weekly emailed, offered our assistance, asked for updates when we could expect submittals. And it was at that time that I was informed verbally that they were going to not move forward with the PD. So that's a little clear picture on where we are in the extensive efforts that planning and development has made to get this project moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brian, please go ahead and take your seat. We're just going to go ahead and continue this, and I'm sure that staff will work it out. We'll work with you, so I'd appreciate it if you could. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your cooperation.
I did have one question.
Yes, sir.
I did want to ask the staff, now, the deadline is in 3 days, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment real quick, and this is just going to be an overall comment, and this is not disparaging of anyone, but just something that I've observed that I think needs to be fixed. We've got to find a way to make things easier and to streamline things for building in Branson. I know that there's been work done. I know that for years the Board of Aldermen has worked on it, but it seems like we're rowing the boat, but it's not going anywhere. And I don't know why it takes months or weeks to answer questions or to give information. The law is the law at the state level and at the city level. If the statutes haven't been changed and the codes haven't been changed, then it doesn't really matter if the lawyers change because the law stays the law. So we should be able to answer the questions in a timely manner for the people who want to look to build in Branson, grow the city, and continue to move things into the future. This is just an overall comment, but it would be my hope that we find relatively quickly a way to make things easier for people looking to build in the city.
I appreciate your comments, sir. I can assure you, based on my experience working with the building department, they've been trying to do just that. So hopefully that's in accordance with what you're looking for. Let's move on with this because we're not going to be able to solve this here tonight. Following review by the Planning Commission, the item is scheduled to move forward to the Board of Aldermen. No. Can I get a motion to postpone?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Vote?
Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote, and it's a request to postpone the public hearing for a preliminary plan development for the property known as Elevate Branson in Branson, Missouri, to October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m., or as soon as it may be called. The item will appear for public hearing and first reading before the Board of Aldermen on October 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m., or as soon as it may be called at Branson City Hall Council Chambers. Commissioner Morreale?
Yes.
Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis?
Yes.
Chairperson Groman?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz?
Yes.
The result of the vote is 7 yea, 0 nay. The motion is carried.
Thank you. Next item is public hearing, request for street vacation for the property located at 218 South Old County Road, Branson, Missouri. Can I get a motion to bring this item to the floor?
Motion.
Can I get a second? We'll now open the public hearing on this item. Would staff like to provide information for the item?
Yes, please. Okay, we've got a street vacation request for this evening at 218 South Old County Road. The request is to vacate a remnant of right-of-way for Maywood Street. So the applicant is Brad Ferguson of Great River Engineering, and Todd Chandler is representing this evening. This is a public hearing, so we did the legal advertisements in the paper and mailed the postcards to those property owners within 185 feet of the area to be vacated. Got some aerial imagery. This is west of Highway 65, south of 76 Country Boulevard, just right where it turns from Main Street to 76. The Branson Manor Senior Living Facility. You guys are probably familiar with it. Got some more aerial views of the property from the north and the east, from the south and the west. Current zoning is HDR, high-density residential. The existing land use is the same, high-density residential for that apartment use. Got an aerial with utilities. So our street vacation ordinance is in section 94-33 under the zoning map. So the applicant did reach out as part of this process to all of the utility companies, the fire department, utilities department, Branson Public Works and Engineering, Public Water Supply District Number 3, even though it's city water up there, Liberty, Empire, Sudden Link, Summit Natural Gas, White River Valley, and Missouri American Water, but again, it's city water. There were no objections to this vacate. Here's an exhibit of what is to be vacated. It's approximately about 25 foot in width and 140 foot in length. And this was kind of an interesting one that the surveyors or title folks found or something, but there was a plat back in 1970 that showed this street right-of-way, but there was also a note that said to be vacated or it had been vacated, but the current property owners could not find any documentation showing that it was vacated. So there was no ordinance to back that up. And I believe they're trying to do a major renovation on the apartment buildings and needed to have a clean title, clear title, just these things cleaned up. So that's what this request is for. And with that, staff recommends approval of the application. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any commissioners have any questions, starting down at this end? Anybody? Okay. Now's the opportunity for the public to comment on this request. Do we have any comments from the public? If you'd like to comment, please just come up to the microphone here and give us your name. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion to approve the request for a street vacation for the property located at 218 South Old County Road, Branson, Missouri. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Vote?
Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis?
Yes.
Chairperson Groman?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz?
Yes.
The result of the vote, 7 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item for public hearing is a request to repeal ordinance number 2007-087 and the land use regulations under PD 07-005 for the Branson Ridge Winery and Marketplace Plan Development, Branson, Missouri. Can I get a motion to bring this to the floor?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. We'll now open the public hearing. Would staff like to give some information on this item?
Yes, please. So yes, we've got a request to repeal the Branson Ridge Winery Marketplace. It's a planned development located at 648 Sunrise Drive. Applicant Todd Chandler of Great River Engineering. The future intent is to rezone the property for commercial and residential uses We'll have that item next on the agenda tonight. This is a public hearing. We did the legal advertisements. So here is the property. It's located west of 65, kind of on the north part of town, just east of Branson Hills Golf Course. We've got some views from the north and the east, from the south and the west. So again, current zoning is that planned development. It's surrounded by another planned development to the west and south, which is the Branson Hills PD. So existing conditions for the property, to the north, it's unincorporated Branson, Taney County. To the west is that Branson Hills PD. To the east, across Highway 65 is unincorporated Branson, Taney County. And to the south, it's a combo of the Branson Hills PD and then unincorporated Branson, Taney County. So we do have a separate zoning request later tonight, but this just shows what is proposed if this revocation goes through. So the existing land use is vacant. However, there is an existing foundation structure on site that this was from back in 2006 through 2008 when it was supposed to be the winery. They built this very large foundation and I believe some retaining walls, which I believe the intent is to repurpose that structure. So our planned developments are in section 94-48, where it speaks to the revocation of a PD. So there's a kind of a list of criteria that kind of needs to happen to be eligible, which we feel this application meets all of them. So staff is recommending approval of this application with one condition, and that is that the approval is contingent upon the approval of the rezoning of the subject property. Be happy to answer any questions for you guys.
Any commissioners on this end have any questions? This end? Okay. Now's the opportunity for public comment in this request. Do we have anybody from the public that wants to comment on it? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion to approve the request to repeal ordinance number 2007-087, the land use regulations under PD-07-005 for the Branson Ridge Winery and Marketplace Plan Development, Branson, Missouri. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll have a vote.
Commissioner Morreale?
Yes.
Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis?
Yes.
Chairperson Groman?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz?
Yes.
Result of the vote, 7 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
Okay. Next item, this public hearing is a request to rezone from a planned development, PDI, to a community commercial, CC, medium-density residential, MDR, and neighborhood commercial, NC, for the properties located at 648 Sunrise Drive, Branson, Missouri. Can I get a motion to bring it to the floor?
Motion.
Second? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Going to open the public hearing. Would staff like to make any comments?
Yes, please. Yes, so as mentioned, we have a request tonight to rezone this PD to the CC, NC, and MDR zoning districts. Applicant Todd Chandler of Great River Engineering. The future intent for a portion of this property, the community commercial portion, is for a flooring store, which is proposed to be located on the east side of the property. We did the public hearing. It's legal advertisements were sent out, mailed out. So again, I'm not going to repeat too much because this is related to the last item that we just listened to, but here it is right by the Branson Hills Golf Course. Our zoning change is in code in section 94-7 for changes in zoning districts. It does require the board, the commission, to provide a recommendation to the Board of Aldermen for consideration. So again, existing conditions, we've got the unincorporated properties to the north, south, and east, and then the PD of the Branson Hills PD to the west and south. Looking from north and east, south and west. This is just showing the current zoning as the plan development. And this is a graphic that shows what is proposed. So we've got a combination, on the frontage of 65, the community commercial, and then it transitions into neighborhood commercial, and then transitions more into the medium density residential, backing out to the Branson Hills golf course. Vacant property currently. It does have utilities. It has the sewer there. I do believe this is, I think, Water District number 3, but I think they've been sorting that out. So our 2030 preferred land use map does show this area as a combination of community commercial and low density residential. So, the preferred land use map is a guide. What they've proposed here is just kind of a combination, that's very compatible to what this plan is indicating should be appropriate uses for that property. We do have the portion of the community commercial. We've got the neighborhood commercial, and then transitioning into the medium density residential. We feel like this it gives them some flexibility on the property for potential more intense uses. It's right on a commercial corridor. It seemed appropriate to us as proposed. And there's also some safeguards of buffering between all these different zoning districts that are going to kick in. Like, for example, in between the MDR and the NC requires an L2 buffer, offering protection for both of those developments. It's a 25-foot wide buffer that requires landscaping in it. The transition from NC to CC is the same requirement for a buffer. And then also to the west, where the golf course is, the PD for Branson Hills calls that out as golf course, which is a pretty nice buffer. So with that, staff recommends approval of this application. We do have one condition, and that's they will be following up. Actually, it's been submitted, but a minor subdivision will be required that correlates to the proposed zoning districts. The way it's currently platted and the way they're wanting to carve out that piece with the structure on it needs to align with the zoning districts, which is what the minor subdivision is intended to do. So if you have any questions, be happy to answer.
Commissioners on this end? Yes, sir.
Staff, I don't know if you can answer this or the applicant. So as of right now, it's just proposed to have the flooring store there, right? Do we know anything beyond that the applicant has to build in there?
I do not. I've only been informed of the potential of a flooring store.
Yes, I just wanted to thank Jennifer and the planning and development staff. I called and had quite a few questions at the end here after looking over the plan development, because usually some negotiations take place in order to get your property zone plan development. And it appeared the major was the open space and the buffering. And so I was able to discuss that with Jennifer, and it's pretty much the same that was required in the original plan development. So that's why I'm in support of rezoning this property. Thanks for all your help today.
You're welcome.
Anybody down this end have any questions? Anybody from the public want to make any comments on this? Yes, sir. Give us your name, sir. We'd sure appreciate it.
Certainly. Gary Leach, 159 Yale. We are the neighbor. And so we have had a lot of curiosity about this property for a long, long time. We're very excited about the possibility of something real being put there and the endless activities currently on the property ending, which would be good. We, like you, have a little bit of curiosity about what might happen beyond the store, but we've had a long relationship with them, and I think that we'll have a pretty good ongoing discussion. We're excited about it. We have some curiosity. if they haven't been given the opportunity to get White River as their electric company, they should be allowed to. Both of them are there. We're a longtime Liberty customer and cannot change. And we're not in the city.
So that's a little bit beyond our scope. Appreciate you sharing that with us, though. Thank you.
The other thing is, we're just really excited about this. And I've done a whole bunch of work on this property for a long, long time. We're not going anywhere. We've been there 25 years. So we intend to be a very good neighbor, but we're excited for it. Wanted y'all to know.
I bet you're getting a good neighbor. Any other comments from the public? That being the case, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Entertain a motion to approve the request to rezone from a planned development PD to community commercial CC, medium-density residential MDR, and neighborhood commercial NC for the properties located at 648 Sunrise Drive, Branson, Missouri. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second, okay. A roll call?
Commissioner Morreale,
Yes.
Alderperson Denham,
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis,
Yes.
Chairperson Groman,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz.
Yes.
The result of the vote, 7 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
The next item in the public hearing is a request for preliminary plat for Longstone 2, Branson, Missouri. Prior to consideration of Planning Commission, this item must first be reviewed by the Advisory Park Board, which is scheduled for Monday, September 16th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m. Accordingly, at the applicant's request, the Planning Commission public hearing has been postponed to Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. Following review by the Planning Commission, the item is scheduled to move forward to the Board of Aldermen for first reading and public hearing on Tuesday, October 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be called. Can I get a motion to postpone the hearing till October 7th?
Motion.
Second? Can I get a second?
Second.
Now call for a vote.
Commissioner Morreale,
Yes.
Alderperson Denham,
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis,
Yes.
Chairperson Groman,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz.
Yes.
The result of the vote, 7 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
Thank you. Staff, do you have any reports for the commission? Okay. Any reports from the commissioners? I'll start in this end this time. Anything you want to say? Okay. On this end? Yes, sir. Yeah, sure.
You know, I've only been in this area 7 years, but what an event. I just want to throw out there that this weekend what we had in Branson. Seeing all those jets and seeing everybody go to the airport and support that. So I just want to thank everybody who was volunteering and who organized that. And, you know, it was really neat also seeing the 250th anniversary jet for the Marine Corps. So I'd like to thank any Marines who served, and happy birthday coming up in November for the Marines.
Ruth?
Yes, I just wanted to comment, I couldn't agree more with Commissioner Seitz regarding smooth processes while wanting to develop. I'm a firm believer if we are not growing, we are dying in this community. However, being on the opposite side of the counter for so many years when I was employed here in the Planning and Development Department, before anything can be brought and supported by staff, there are many requirements that they need to make sure that they fulfill first. And I feel with the department that we have right now, the staff that we have right now, they do have open communication. So I wanted to also speak in support of the process that takes place before bringing something to us. And if something's postponed, it's okay, because it means we just don't have the information that we need, and it's not, you know, it's both sides that need to make sure that we meet all the requirements. So I just wanted to speak in support, because I know that huge steps have been taken to improve the process, and we're really blessed to have the department we have over there right now.
Thank you, Ruth. Anyone else? I'd just like to point out, I personally meet with the staff once or twice every week. And that's been over a period of 3 years. And I've never seen people that try to do as much as they can to be as helpful as possible. And it goes beyond just the planning commission. That goes all the way up to the city administrator. They're trying to get things changed and put in place so that things operate more efficiently for the residents and the businesses and the developers. It wasn't exactly, it's not exactly a simple task. They're working on it, and I don't believe it'll ever stop. So just be patient. You will find a staff and planning that is one of the most cooperative that I've ever seen in planning. So whatever. Any other comments? Okay. The next item on the agenda would be adjournment. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn the September 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Kendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Hillis?
Yes.
Chairperson Groman?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz?
Yes.
The result of the vote, 7 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried at 6:42 p.m.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much for attending, and thank you, staff and members.